To meet the liberal arts requirements, every student is required to take at least one science class with a lab. Well, Aaron had all of his classes taken care of.
Except for this science class, his advisor said, "Aaron, just take this class, Avery Sciences, it's really easy."
Dr. Johnson's been teaching it for so long, you can sit under a tree with your sweetheart and just watch the birds.
That's all it is. As long as you show up and watch the birds, you'll pass.
Well, the next year, Aaron gets to this class and finds out Dr. Johnson has since retired. The new professor has recently received her
doctorate from Harvard, and she wanted to show what her education was worth and change the curriculum.
The final exam was now worth 50% of the grade in the class.
Aaron walked into the final and opened the test. It was 16 pages.
All that was on it were pictures. Pictures of bird legs. The directions said, look at
the picture and determine the name and species of each bird. Aaron didn't take that news too well. He got frustrated, tore up the test, and returned it to the professor's desk, explaining, "This test is ridiculous. How are you supposed to know 16 different birds just by looking at their legs?"
She said, "Now this is disrespectful. Tell me your name so I can report you to the Dean of Students."
Without hesitation, Aaron jumped on the desk, lifted his pant legs, and said, "Okay, Professor, but first now tell me, what is my name?"
Well, since I have been at Hastings College, one of the advantages
is that we know our students' names. In fact, a few years
ago, I was at the inauguration of a new president, and I was walking with the presidents of Doane and Wesleyan,
when a student from the band walked up to us and said hello. She proceeded to lift up her pant legs and asked, "What's my name?"
I said, "Jenny, it's Jenny." She said, "Yep, that's the HC advantage," and walked away.
Well, one of my favorite memories about Dr. D is when I was a freshman and sophomore and I would go into the Ho to eat. No matter what was being served, it could be tofu that did not look good at all. And Dr. D would come by with his plate and he'd say, "Oh, look at these, this looks good." And you'd be like, "Oh, that doesn't look good." But he would still eat it, and he would always eat with the students. And then afterwards, he'd always go over to the dessert tray and be like, "Oh, cookies, look at these." And the cookies would be rock hard. And we'd always be like, "Oh, those cookies aren't very good." But he would take like 4 or 5 of them, and maybe they made like a special batch for him or something. And then another memory that I always have about Dr. D is at sporting events. He would always like bring a pizza or something, or he'd always be like, "Oh, Snickers, who wants a Snickers?" I don't know, it was always Snickers bars. And I loved eating Snicker bars, and that's why I'd always go to football games, because I knew Dr. D would be throwing out Snicker bars.
My favorite memory of Dr. D was the time that me and Amanda Gazal and April Christensen were put on mock probation from college, a social probation, because apparently we were mean to him at a recital, and it's not true. He sat in front of us at a recital, and he was completely distracting and had no recital etiquette, and he kept grabbing us and being Mr. Sassy Pants, and he got us in trouble, and he made a big scene, and then he proceeded to send us an email, and it was both to Ron Chesborough and Joe McCarthy and the 3 of us saying that we were going to get expelled from college because of our behavior. And so the entire day was these emails back and forth, and Ron saying, "Oh, if you need to, make a formal complaint," and we told him that he had bad recital etiquette and that we would give him classes, and he kept saying outlandish things like, "They kicked me," and "I have witnesses," and all this funny stuff. And so it was an entire day of just really fun emails, and in the end we said, "You know what? Donna likes us better than you, Dr. D."
Hi there, my name is Kyle Chesterman, and I'm just a freshman on campus, so I haven't known Dr. D for very long, but it turns out that I have a very special connection to our good old president. In my spare time, I do a lot of genealogy along with my knitting and Red Hat Society clubs. So I was doing some genealogy a couple months ago, and I realized that Phil Dudley and I are related in a very distant way. And as we all know, Dr. D likes to take care of all the students and everybody in the community, and I feel like he would especially like to take care of his family. I'm sure he's a very committed family man. So I want to say thank you to Dr. D for everything that he's done for me and the school so far, and for taking care of the rest of my college. That was really great of you, Dr. D.
So how do you say thank you to Dr. D? And how do you say thank you to Donna? There are just so many different stories that you could tell, whether it's from all the different events that you saw them at,
and how supportive they were to every single student and how they knew every person's name, or how they knew your siblings' names and your parents' names. I mean, how do you even begin to say thank you to someone like that when you realize that there's never going to be anyone else just like them? And then you stop for a minute and you realize that's the whole point. Dr. Dudley wanted everyone to know how special we all were. It was like we suddenly were part of their family. And being part of their family meant that we were part of the Hastings College family. And that's something that I will take with me wherever I go. So I just want to say thank you to Dr. D and Donna for everything you have done for us. And I can't wait to see how Mr. T and Mrs. T make Hastings College part of their family, and in turn we become part of their family. So thank you again, Dr. D and Donna.
We're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. D.
Thanks, Dr. D.
Thank you, Dr. D.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks, Dr. D.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. D, for making such an impact on my life.
Hey, Dr. D, thanks for coming to all of our games.
Thank you for all the Snickers and deli bars and the support throughout all of our seasons.
Thank you so much, Dr. D.
You rock, Dr. D!